Good morning, everybody. We are continuing with Unit 1, Genius, Nature or Nurture. And today our focus is on Reading 2. So you have done the video, you've watched the video, you have done the activities in Reading 2, 10,000 hours mastery. And today we're going to go over that. We're going to go over the activities and you can ask questions. Yeah. And then after we're done with it, you're going to do a post-test. Now, if you have another lesson after this class, just wait with your post-test. You have time to do it today until 11 p.m. Okay? Post-tests, unit tests, anything, any kind of testing is always done, or like the video comprehension is always done on the day of your Zoom meeting, because that is a class activity, even though we don't do it while we have our Zoom meeting, but you have time to do that on the day of our class, our lesson. Okay, awesome. So let's flip our page to page 12, because that's where Reading 2 starts. So if you can also open your own book to look at it. Now, I'd like you guys to answer along with me, and I'm going to give you a chance to really just respond. And it would be great if you can also annotate. So straight away you put the answer into the blanks. Yeah, awesome. Okay. So first thing we always do is we always look at the vocabulary first. So those are always referred to as the bold-faced words. That's the vocabulary, and we always look at that first. Looking at either the understanding of the word as a definition, or what kind of synonym or antonym can you come up with. Other than that, we look at the words in context of a sentence, and even maybe in the context of a paragraph or a whole text. Right? So, which words do you know the meaning of? So you have to look at the bold-faced words and figure out the meaning. And I probably have told you in the video to even write down the Bahasa Indonesia definition if that was necessary for you. You might wonder and think, is it so important for me to learn more words? Yeah, because the more words you know, the better, and yeah, the better you can speak and write. And in English elective here in this ESL program, we're not looking at words that are general English. General English is something that you would learn when you learn in Bahasa Inggris Wajib. Here you're learning academic English. So those are different words. So you definitely have to add a lot of new vocabulary, yeah, which will help you to write and speak in an academic setting. Awesome. Okay, now, can you use any of the words or phrases in a sentence? Now, I would like to hear from any of you. Can any of you tell me a word or a phrase by using one of the bold-faced words? And if we're looking at the bold-faced words, let me just flip my page. We're looking at persistence, expertise, emerging, assimilate, transform. Yeah, in my case, moral. So basically, any of the bold-faced words that you can use. Okay, can anyone come up with a sentence? Anyone? William?
Yes, let's start off with persistence. Persistence means that you're constantly doing something in like a precise pace.
Yes.
Consistently, yeah.
Can you make a sentence with it?
Oh, persistence. The man shot the gun with amazing persistence.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That is okay. Persistence means basically that you don't give up, that you keep going on. So maybe the man kept practicing working his gun with persistence, so that he doesn't quit learning. So persistence or persistency is very important, as in the definition shows that you do not give up. That's why it's a very good character trait to have. I studied with persistence. You know, like tidak menyerah. Okay, cool. Anyone else? I want one more. Or I'll just look at my list of names. Fiona? Fiona, are you here this morning?
Yes.
Hi, Fiona. Good morning. Can you give me a sentence with one of the bold-faced words?
Expertise.
Expertise, yes, good.
Expertise. Customers will be impressed by the expertise of our highly trained employees.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, that brings us to the book, the story, which is taken from Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. Okay, so basically the stories that you read are most likely excerpts. Excerpt meaning that it's not a complete story, so they're just taking a part of the story. Sometimes when people do that, then it sometimes does not have a conclusion. So an excerpt is only a shorter form, so they just take it from a longer text. Basically like that. Sometimes they do include a conclusion, sometimes they don't. So the existing story is way longer, yeah? Okay, 10,000 Hours to Mastery by Harvey Mackay. Now, in the video also, I talked about the reading strategies. I talked about previewing, I talked about skimming, and I talked about scanning. 3. Now, super important. Who can tell me what previewing is? You had this last year also. Well, let's see. Who can tell me what previewing is? Anyone?
Previewing, Miss.
Yeah.
We when we previewing, we read again everything we made. That's previewing, I think.
Okay.
Oh, that's
cool.
reviewing.
That's reviewing, but still, I really like your answer. Thank you very much. Thank you for trying.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rewrite the steps in your ebook. Yeah, because I think I wrote it somewhere, but I don't think I wrote it at this part. I'm going to rewrite the steps in your ebook. Hopefully, by looking at it, you will remember, because this is not theory that you should remember. This is a skill, a strategy slash a skill is something that you actually really need to do. So if you don't use it, it's useless. Yeah, you know, you really got to do it. So previewing basically is, well, there are two differences. There's what it is for and how you use it. So what it is for, the purpose of it is to get the genre of the text, the type of text, and the purpose of the text. That's basically why we preview. And the reason why you want to know the genre of your text and the purpose is because it will give you focus. It will tell you what to read for, and it'll help you to understand your text. If you do not do that, it is hard for your brain to, you know, straight away just grasp everything that you're reading. It'll take longer for you, and a lot of the information will just pass you by. So it is important to do it in order for you to get a focus. Now, how we do it is basically what we're doing, we're working with the title, we're working with subtitles, which we call headings or headers, and we're working with visuals. That's the only thing you do, and you're just looking at that. Titles give away a whole lot, people, a whole lot. So from a title, basically, you can already determine what type of text it is. So title, subheadings, and visuals. Now here, if you're looking at 10,000 Hours to Mastery, we're looking at a picture here. Yeah. The Beatles. And basically, if you go over a text like that, you can already predict what type it is. By knowing the type of text, you would know the purpose. If it is an article, it's to inform, depending also on what type of article. But mostly articles are to inform. It can be an essay, it can be comparison and contrast, it can be problem and solution. It can be just to define or just to describe. It can be persuasive, to persuade. Yeah, so there are a whole lot of different types of text, which will determine also the purpose that we're holding, okay? Now, that is what you do to get focused. Now, who can tell me what type of text this is?
Documentary.
A documentary would be more into a motion picture and a visual. So in writing, we do not have documentary, so it would be more article then. If you mean that. Is this particularly about the Beatles? Is this a writing about the Beatles? Is this text 100% about the Beatles, or is he just taking the Beatles as an example in his writing?
It only takes Beatles as an example.
Awesome. It only takes the Beatles as an example. So the focus is not the Beatles. The focus of this writing, Harvey's writing, is about mastery, is about persistency, is about hard work, determination, and practice. Working very hard on something and then to achieve, to become successful. That is his focus. So we could call this an article. Yeah. In essays, we do not use visuals. Yeah. It is not a report. Yeah. If it is a report, it would be a report writing, would be very formal, would be objective 100% with a lot of sources. And this is more written, not as formal. It is also written with, as you can see here, for years I have preached. So he talks from the first person point of view, which makes it more subjective, closer to the audience. So this is definitely an article. So an article can be with headings, can also be without headings, but mostly articles can be written very objective, formal, without the pronoun I, but a lot of articles right now are also written more subjective with the first person point of view. I mean my, yeah? Depends also a little bit on the purpose of the article. If it's a news report article, would be different. News article would be different. If it is a travel article, it is different. If it is an article on an experience, it's different. So it depends a little bit. So we could say that this is an article, and definitely to inform. And if we would like to know what to inform about, we can see here that it probably focuses on how to master something. That to master something, we need at least around 2,000 hours of practice. That is basically what we can get just from the title. Yeah. So probably this person will talk about the process of becoming successful or something, or mastery in something. So we would want to figure that one out. We want to take notes on that. That is previewing. And you mostly do that like in 5 seconds or so. You did it fast. Now the second is skimming. Who can tell me why we do skimming? Why do we do skimming?
Saves time. I don't know.
Yeah, we skim, thank you. We do skimming to get the main ideas. So basically previewing is to get the text genre and purpose. We skim to get the main idea, the general main idea of the text that covers the whole text. And how we do that is by reading the introduction, introductory paragraph, by reading the topic sentence, which is the first sentence of each body paragraph, and by reading the concluding paragraph, if there is one. Yeah, that is basically what we do. So you got to understand there is a difference right now here, a difference between a general main idea and a sub-main idea. Let me say it this way. A general main idea is reflected through the title and the thesis, okay? If you've already gone through your journal, you'll already understand what I'm talking about. The general main idea is this one. The big title is reflected. The main idea is reflected through the title and reflected through the introductory paragraph. definitely the thesis statement, the last statement of the introductory paragraph. Really, really shows the general main idea. But if you want to make sure that you got it correct, that you cover everything, it is very smart to also read every topic sentence and from there connect it all together. There you have your main idea. And this is important because you guys have to be able to grasp a main idea. That will come in a test, that will come in an exam. It is important for you to be able to skim a text to know what you're talking about. This is a technique that you will use all throughout uni and even when you work. So it is important that you're able to do that. Now, other than a general main idea, we've got a sub-main idea. Why are you saying that, Ms. Sylvie? Well, you have articles that have subheadings, right? Now, so what are those headers for them? Now, basically, the headers, the smaller titles that are in the text itself, those mostly reflect a sub-main idea. Now, a sub-main idea can also be reflected through a topic sentence. Why is that? Let me say it this way. As a thesis statement, we can say a thesis statement equals a main idea or a controlling idea, equals the general topic and the purpose of the whole text. Okay, so your thesis statement is the general topic and the purpose of the whole text equals controlling idea, which is your general main idea. Now, a topic sentence is the same like a thesis statement, only smaller. As your thesis statement covers the whole text, your topic sentence only covers one body paragraph. Okay? So in this case, your topic sentence would be just a smaller main idea. So your topic sentence is a subtopic and a purpose, which is the smaller controlling idea that covers only that particular paragraph. So topic sentence equals subtopic and purpose equals sub-controlling idea, which is a sub-main idea. So if I'm talking about the general main idea, I'm talking about the main idea that covers the whole text from the beginning until the end. If I'm talking about a sub-main idea, then I'm talking about the tiniest main idea that only covers one body paragraph, only one, because per body paragraph, we discuss one topic. Okay, this is already, I've already mentioned this, so I'm just reviewing this again. It's important that you remember this, okay, because you need to be able to practice these skills. I do not want you to memorize. I want you to be able to do it, okay? That's the whole point of it. Any questions?
Nope.
No, okay. So that brings us to the last one, which is scanning. So we preview by looking at the title and the visuals and the headers to grasp the text, genre, and purpose. We skim by reading the introductory paragraph and every topic sentence and concluding paragraph in order to get the general main idea of the whole text. We scan by looking over the text. We're not reading it. We're just looking over the text to find a particular part in the text where we grasp or we find the keyword or key phrase that we've been looking for. Let's say, oh, okay, here it is. This is the part that I'm looking for. So we not just straight away take that and answer. No, if, for example, I find my key phrase here in the middle of a paragraph, what I do is I then read that paragraph. I start from the beginning and start reading it all the way to the end of the paragraph. And then I will know what the answer is. But everything that comes before it, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to look over it until I find my keyword or key phrase. So super important with scanning that you have already annotated any question, any answer choice, anything that you're supposed to do, any instruction on a keyword or key phrase, which then you'll look for that keyword or key phrase in your text. But remember, mostly it's paraphrased, so you will not always get the exact same keyword or key phrase. So you might want to look for something in a similar meaning. Okay? And we do that, we scan in order to get a specific detail or fact. Awesome. And for that, we definitely need to keyword. Now, that said, we're going to continue, okay? We get to the comprehension. So for these comprehension questions, you are supposed to annotate it as well. So what are the keywords here according to Gladwell achievement is Gladwell achievement. Those are basically your keywords in this sentence. Who can help me answer this one? According to Gladwell, what is achievement? Okay, we've got Joseph. Can you help me with that?
According to Gladwell, achievement is talent plus preparation.
Yeah, talent plus preparation. There. Can you annotate that? Write that down. Type it on the blank.
Hmm,
Can you type it here, Joseph?
Type. Wait.
Go to the annotating function and then you click the T for type. You can adjust the color, you can adjust the font, how big it is. But that is correct. It is talent plus preparation, and preparation seems to play a bigger role. Your answer is correct. Do you know how to do it?
I don't know.
Anyone else? Hey, you just go to, okay, let me try it out for you. Let's take blue, yeah? Oh, wait. Wait a sec. Okay. Okay. So according to Gladwell, achievement is talent plus preparation. And basically, preparation has a bigger role, though. Okay, what about number 2? The Beatles were different from most other bands because why were they different? Now, if you scanned through your text and looked at the keywords as in Beatles, different from, you would have found the answer. Now I'm gonna look at my list of names. I'd like to hear from Nicole. Nicole, are you here?
Yes, miss.
Hi, good morning. Nicole, can you answer number 2?
Yeah. The Beatles were different from most other bands because the Beatles performed about 1,200 times before their big success in 1964. But most bands don't perform 1,200 times in their careers.
Yeah, exactly. Now, basically, I will say exactly what you said, but in a just a bit different way. We could say they worked harder and had more preparation than others did. Yeah. So they didn't become famous just like that. They had to perform a whole lot. They worked super, super hard. We just know the fame they got, but that was not an overnight thing, right? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, what about number 3? Daniel Levitin says about success that. I'd like to hear from Stephen Allen.
Yes, number 3. Yeah, Daniel Levitin says about success that 10,000 hours of practice is required to achieve the level of mastery associated with being a world-class expert in anything.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Mastery. Wait a sec. Oh yeah. Next time, guys, please help me out to type this, yeah? Expert in anything. Okay. You guys can do this. I don't need to do this. Y'all smart people. Okay. Let's see. We get it like this. Yeah. 10,000 hours of practice is required to achieve the level of mastery associated with being a world-class expert in anything. Very good. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to 4. Levitin believes success takes so long to achieve because what does he think it will take so long? Okay, I'm gonna ask Dian. Dian? No, Dian? Okay. What about Ita? Ita?
Yes.
Can you answer this one?
Levitin believes success takes so long to achieve because it seems it takes the brain this long to simulate all that it needs to know to achieve true mastery.
Yeah, very good. To assimilate all that it needs. Yeah. Okay. Guys, can you try out your annotating skills in Zoom? Okay. But that would be the answer to these questions. Well done. Definitely annotating is the way for you to find things. Yeah, also the most effective and the fastest way. So remember that annotating as a skill should really be done. So you can do color coding also, it's very nice color coding, or you can do margin notes where you write. Margin notes is basically where you write keywords in the left margin or in the right margin, whatever works for you. Okay, any questions about this? Did you guys check your answers? No questions? Okay, awesome. Then I'm going to take it away. So that brings us to the reading skill. Here it shows us distinguishing voice in quotations. Now, you guys know quotations, yeah, when you are basically stating someone else's word exactly as the person has stated it. And what happens with the voice in quotations? Now, distinguishing voice is an important reading skill, as it can sometimes be confusing whether we are reading the author's word or someone else's word. Now, you can distinguish means in bahasa we would say, I think, membedakan, if I'm not mistaken. So you can differentiate, you can hear a difference. One indication of a change in voice is quotation marks. Another indication is a change in pronouns. For example, from the third person, he, she, they, to the first person, I, me, my, we. In order to fully comprehend the text, you need to notice when a shift in voice takes place to know who's speaking. So basically what this is stating is that you have to be able to recognize who is talking, because in an audio or in a reading in a text, for example, there is a shift of people taking the lead to talk. So either read it as an audio, you have to hear it, when in a text you would have to be able to follow it. So it is easy to see that by looking at the change of pronouns, whether that goes from the first person or to the third person. Authors often shift the voice in their writing by using quoted speech, yeah? So, for example, first-hand validity to a point the author has made, provide details or examples, or continue the story in another voice. Can be for any reason, yeah? Now, let's look at it here. You had to read the following excerpt from reading 1. All double quotation marks have been removed. Underline the sections where the voice changes from the author's to someone else's. So the author would probably be the narrator, and then someone else is speaking would be one of the characters in story-like form, if you would understand it that way. So add the quotation marks where it's necessary. So you underline the sections where the voice changes, and you give the quotation marks where they're supposed to be. Yeah? Okay, now for example, the first one. Where would we put our quotation marks? Or what would we underline? Let's go for the underlining first. Anyone like to try? Who would like to try? It's so quiet suddenly. Okay, then I'm gonna just look at the name. Let me ask Cornelius, are you here? Cornelius? Okay, Celia? Celia?
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Okay, we're looking here at the first one. Which part shows that there is a change going on. So you should underline where you see the voice changes from the authors to someone else's. Where do you see that change happening?
Can I just underline it also?
Oh yeah, that would be great. Just underline it so everybody can see it. Wow, your line is interesting.
It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard.
Yeah, no, you don't say. It is not easy. Yeah. Okay, definitely. Yeah, awesome. So that's where we see the shift, right? So all the way from 2, all this up till he wanted to prove a point. This is still the third person point of view. Yeah, the third POV, because he uses he. And then it changes to I. So this is where the change takes place. Awesome. So can you put in quotation marks for me?
Me? Or
Okay, draw those. Your line is really thick.
I can't change it. I don't know why.
Oh, you can? Oh, yeah. There should be a way though, basically. It doesn't? Oh. Interesting. How would we do that, yeah? Only small. Just do annotating and you get small. You see that? Oh. You just don't do anything. You just do annotating and you get this pencil and then you draw. That's how you get it. Or maybe you have to go to format. Maybe your line, your line width is too thick. Change your line width. You just go to format and there you can change it. Does that make sense? Yeah. What are we doing? We're learning how to annotate with Zoom. This is funny. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's really good. Okay, what about number 2? Well, where is it now? Okay, this, yeah, let's put it here. But it's not easy. I do agree. In this case, you start with the quotation marks here before I, right? And then you end them after. Oh man, I'm doing this. I'm not doing this good either. Oh, look at that! How disgusting that is. So you end the last quotation mark after the period, not in front of the period. After the period, okay? Cool beans. Okay, that brings us to number 2. Who would like to do number 2? Where do we see the change? You can also make just a circle where we see the change. Come on, people. Gilbert. Oh, Angeline, yes. And then we've got Theresia. Okay, we go with Angeline first.
The change is that there's too much mental stimulus until uncomfortable.
Yeah, very good. So it goes all the way. Chips in the supermarket are always a chore. There's too much stimulus. I have to look. Very good. So we basically would have the quotation marks here. Would you like to annotate it?
Wait, miss, I'll try.
It's actually fun if you do it. See, yours is too thick too. Just go to, I think there's font or something. Like you can go, when you click the annotate, right? And then you get like stamp, draw, text, select, go to format, that's it. And then you can change your font size. Oh yeah, that's better. Definitely we start there. So it's from, I think yours is too high. We have to go here too.
Yeah,
here, right? At theirs, right? Your quotation there is a bit too. Here, right? Can you? it should be here, your quotation mark, right? We placed the quotation marks at the wrong spot. So, oh boy. Who can place it here? Oh, where did it go? Who's gone? Okay. No. So basically here, yeah, with theirs. Where did my... No, I got confused, guys. Oh. Okay, so basically it starts in front of there's too much mental stimulus and it ends after uncomfortable, right? That is here. And then after the titik. Okay, what about number 3? I'm gonna ask Theresia.
Hello, Miss. Okay.
Number 3. Can you do
Number
3?
3.
Yeah.
Number 3 is from we shared so much until every I think it's separate. I think some of it is separate. We shared until he's such a lovely man. And then there's a quotation in there. Can I annotate it, Miss?
Oh, go ahead. That would be so much easier.
Okay, until here. Until here. Can you see it?
Yeah. It goes
Oh,
on.
and then
It's not to the library.
you don't have to this one. Okay. Done, Miss.
Yeah. Let me see. We shared so much. Oh, wait. Basically, it goes until here.
Okay, until here.
Here.
Okay.
Until library. Or do I do it? Oh, not the first one.
Oh,
Yeah,
here.
this library, not the first. Where's the first one? Oh,
Yeah.
I get confused.
Okay.
So we shared so much our love of key dates from history, for instance, and our love of books. As a child, it goes all the way. Let me see. I have
This one.
I have read
This
more
one.
books than anyone I
This
know.
one? He's such a lovely man.
And take this away.
Wait.
So would be then meet in the library, and then we've got. Wait a second, I'm also looking. Yeah, and then he's such a lovely man. Yeah. Kim wanted to meet in the library. Is that? I'm also confused. Wait. Yeah, Kim wanted to meet in the library here. Here we would put because peak would be the third person again. Does that make sense? So if you here, look, we shared so much our love and this is all the first person point of view, right? And then here it changes again, peak can read, and this changes again to the third person point of view. So here's the shift, the change. Do you see that difference, guys? Yeah. And
yes,
then,
yes.
like what you said, correct. He's such a lovely man, says Temet, because this is definitely a quote again. And then Kim says, you don't. You have here, you don't. Yeah, correct. Well done. But it would be until here. The first quotation mark would end here. Yeah, well done. Okay, so basically you can see the change happening because of the change of first person to a third person point of view. Definitely not second person point of view. Second person point of view, that is you. We don't use that. Yeah, unless you have a type of writing which really wants to speak to the audience and really talks as in you to the audience, but we rarely do that. But you do have some of those. Okay, last one. It's a bit short, it's a bit easier. Maybe he remembers being given a Ladybird book called Counting when it was 4. When I looked at the numbers, I saw images, I felt like a place I could go where I really belonged. Okay, someone else. I would like to know Gilbert. Gilbert, are you here?
Yes, Miss.
Can you do this one? Where do you see the shift? Where do you see the change from the third person point of view to the first?
Wait. Let me. This Miss. This.
We're all learning to draw digital right now, yeah? Yeah, there. Yeah, starting here, this one. Yeah, here, very good. This is the part where there's a shift because this is all the way still the third person. And here, this is where the shift changed. So you would basically put your quotation marks. Oh, wait. You would put the quotation marks here and end them here. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then here. After the period. Awesome. Yeah, because here you say, when I looked at the numbers, I saw the image that felt like a place I could go where I really belong. So this becomes a quotation. Yeah, very good. So we can see in a text, we can see a shift of who's talking. We're talking about different speakers that are talking, like from the narrator. The narrator is the author, the one who's writing, and then what specific characters said or people said. So if specific characters or people start talking, they will definitely start using the first person point of view, which is I, me, my. And when a narrator talks, he will use the third person point of view as he, she, or the name of the person, right? And that's how we can see that there's a change of voice, that there's a change of person who is talking. And mostly when a character speaks, then we use quotation marks. Are there any questions about that? Okay, awesome. Okay, that brings us to connecting the reading. So we're looking at reading 1 and reading 2 both, and then connecting them, how to put them all together. Now, in organizing, it's basically when you would, for a writing, would do research and you get a lot of sources. So you basically brainstorm ideas, and then based on the ideas that you brainstormed, you would do a research to back it up with sources, with facts and evidence. And then after, when you've gotten all that information, you basically make your outline, right? And you create something. So that synthesizing is when you're using multiple sources and then combine those sources together to create something new. So in this case, you would have put in information. This is number 1 until 7. This is the information from reading 1 and from reading 2. Which one belongs in reading 1 and reading 2? Which one is covered in the middle? This is called a Venn diagram, which shows as a comparison and contrast, similarities and differences, where the differences are always in the similarities are always in the middle as the overlapping circles. These are the similarities, and these are definitely left and right, the differences. So basically, real quick to put it in here, what we had, let me annotate that for you real quick. For a genius explains in reading 1, we're looking at basically number 1, yeah? So, which is paragraph 4. And then here we're looking at 7, which is paragraph 7 to 8. And then here we're looking at 2, which is paragraph 1. In the middle, we're looking at 5. Yeah. In reading 1, it is paragraph 4. Can you please check whether you got this also? And for reading 2, it is also paragraph 4. Yeah. Then basically here, for the differences is number 3. It's paragraph 3. And 4, which is paragraph 9. And then we've got 6, which are paragraphs 5 and 13. So basically it's divided like this. Yeah, so this is based on the information above in the table. And this is the information that was in reading 1 and reading 2. And this is the information which is number 5. Number 5, which is genius is being studied by scientists. We found that in reading 1, paragraph 4, and in reading 2, we also found that in paragraph 4, which both mentioned that genius is being studied by scientists. The rest is divided. Yes? Okay, now basically what you're supposed to do actually, you're supposed, in the synthesizing part, you're supposed to work with a partner. Imagine that one of you is Daniel Tammet and the other is Malcolm Gladwell, and you were supposed on a piece of paper to write 3 questions that you would like to ask each other, and then using the information from the Venn diagram here, and then you would have to exchange your questions and try to answer it. Yeah, that was based on the information here. But I didn't ask you to do that. I do want to ask, did any of you come up with questions based on this information? Is there anyone that did come up with questions based on this information? No? Okay then. Okay, so remember in this case that this is a Venn diagram used for comparison and contrast. Yeah? Okay, that brings us to the end of reading 2. What is it that we did today? Okay. Yeah. What is it that we did today? We basically, the first thing we did was we went over our vocabulary, yeah, in context, and we did a comprehension for that one. Then we went over our reading strategies, yeah. We talked about previewing, skimming, and scanning. And then I talked with you about distinguishing voice and quotation. So knowing that there is a change of character talking or person talking, we can recognize and distinguish that by looking at the change from the person point of view, I mean my, to the third person point of view, which is he, she, they, or the name of a person. The first point of view using quotation marks. Right, and that's how we can see the difference. And also Venn diagram that shows us comparison and contrast. Organizing ideas as in gathering ideas from reading 1 and reading 2, combining them together in order to create something new, which means synthesizing. Awesome. Now, if we're looking real quick at our schedule for this unit, looking here at the dates for this week, then you should focus on your project for your essay on the outlining, meaning that if you looked at the week before, you should have already outlined your speaking test, which you do in your log. And today means you, or this week means you have to make the outline for your essay in your journal. It means that you already did your brainstorming, already did your research, getting the sources, and now you outline it. You place all those ideas inside the outline. Your post-study is the activities in your ebook for reading and writing, reading 2. So in your ebook for reading and writing, you're basically going to redo what we did, what you did through the video, what we did today. You will do once more through your ebook. And your pre-study, which is the preparation for next week's Zoom meeting, you will watch the video for focus on speaking and do the activities in your textbook, listening and speaking. I have already given this to you yesterday. So basically you can just look at that. I am going to open the link of your post test so you can do your post test today. Are there any questions, my beloved students? So far, so good. Okay then. In any case, if you do have questions, please do not hesitate to ask me. also for the class president, please, or the class secretary, please make sure that you get to what is that? Write down, note down everybody that is that was late today and or came didn't attend today, and please notify me on that. Okay then, God bless you. Have a great week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.